What's up, y'all? What's going on, YouTube? So the reason why I'm on here today is because I wanted to leave a video review about a business that I recently was quote-unquote trying to do business with a man by the name of Dean Cole Financial. And this is just like a real business review, real life business review. And I really didn't want to come on here to make this video. I really feel like I got other things, better things to do, and other places where I can, put my energy into things that are, that'll be productive. But at the same time, I understand like this can help the next person down the line. This can help the next man or the next woman that's thinking about doing business with this company save their money. You better off investing in trying to do your business somewhere else or something else. So I'm gonna just get down to it, get straight to the point, because like I said, I really don't want to do this, but I'm doing this to help somebody out there. Like I could be doing other things that's better with my time. But I am very, very disappointed that I had to go through this. And I'm just like, on the real, I'm gonna be real with you guys. Like, I'm so sick and tired of the pump faking on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. I'm sick and tired of the pump fakers, the fakes, the posers that's out there, right? And it just takes so much away from the people that's actually really doing something. And it's just sad and unfortunate that you give people an opportunity. People say they can do this, that, they about this, they about that, and then they really not. They just poses, right? And you just get caught up in their mess because you put your trust and your faith in them. That's just like another topic, another issue, and it's just, to me, it's just disgusting, right? So let me get down to it, right? So I actually got the full report right here. I had to print it out. You guys can also go on the Better Business Bureau, type in Dean Cole Financial, and read the full report for yourself in detail. So basically, let me tell you guys how I'm down $19.50 from this dude, right? And everything that transpired, and it just makes you think, right? So back late June, he was doing live calls on YouTube, and I called him on YouTube. And let me tell you how I found this dude. I type in, I was trying to learn how to build something called business credit. I don't know if people know about it. I was trying to learn how to build it. He was one of the guys that pop up. I saw he was in Georgia, whatever. He claimed he'd been doing this for a long time. He got a strong social media following, YouTube, people giving him praises. He has video testimonies of people, quote unquote, because we don't know what's really true nowadays. People saying that, he helped them and this and this and that. So I'm like, okay, this dude is somewhat reputable, has a website. Website is a little funny, but I'm like, all right, he's on YouTube, he's talking. We spoke live on there. I was like, yo, I thank you for all the information you're giving and this and this and that. This is what I'm trying to do. He's like, okay, I can help you. I'm like, all right, cool. Everything sounds good. I called in, I made my payment in full. On July 7th, I made a payment in full for a consultation, right? Which is like 5 consultations. I paid $1,000, right? US, I paid in full. I didn't do the monthly thing or whatever. I just paid in full, right? Because I usually pay in full when I I'm doing business credit stuff. I've done it in the past before with 2 other companies, and it was successful with what I was trying to do. I just can't figure out why this one was so unsuccessful, right? So I paid $1,000 US, hard-earned money, because you guys know I work. I don't steal, right? I work hard, and my wife works hard. We both are hard-working individuals. We don't just take money from people. We don't ask for donations. We don't steal money, right? That's not what we do, So, I paid my money up front. We had one session. We spoke about a strategy. And then he mentioned to me something about, where I could build my personal credit too, which was another thing I was trying to do. So on July 28th, 2020, I made an additional purchase for the amount of $11.50, right? And this is where everything starts to go haywire. All right, a lady with a Caribbean accent took my payment over the phone. I then asked her before we got off the phone, what was the process like? She then tells me she do not know, but someone from the credit department will contact me to give me the rundown and get all my information, right? So basically, I was talking to this lady. She said, I don't know how this process is like, but I'll take your payment information. Somebody's gonna get in contact with you. I then called again on August 6th, right? Because no one had contacted me to begin my credit process. So the first problem I saw that was like, whoa, what's going on? It's like, I think I remember I called either like on a Monday or Tuesday. I gave them my card information. They didn't process my information, like the payment, until like the end of the week, like Friday. You know, and I had to call, like, what was going on? And this lady by the name of Patricia, which is his co-D, his co-defendant, his partner in crime. She's like, oh, we've been out of the office. We couldn't do blah, 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 blah. She was just rushing to get off the phone. Whatever, she processed the payment that Friday. So the following week, you know, that Monday goes by, I think Tuesday goes by, like Wednesday goes by. I'm like, yo, nobody contact me to, you know, start this process. So I'm like, yo, this is like almost, you know, this is like another week that's flying by, right? It almost took a whole week to process a payment. Now no one has contacted me to start this process. So I'm like, you know, and I'm on a schedule. Like, I have everything scheduled out on when I'm trying to do things and when I'm trying to achieve my goals. So I'm on a schedule. You know what I mean? And I done invested $2,000, right? And you know, over $2,000, and you know, minus one consultation, whatever, which is $250. So I invested over $2,000. So it's like, I'm ready to go. Like, let's get the ball rolling. So I remember calling on a Wednesday, and the same lady with a Caribbean accent, I'm like, hey, somebody's supposed to contact me, you know, to get this information and start this process. Like, what's going on? So she's like sounding confused. Oh, I'm not sure what's going on, but I'll get back in touch with you. Never gets back in touch with me. I think that same Friday I called again. This is like the first week of August. That same Friday I called again. And I'm like, hey, like, what's up? What's going on? Like, we're supposed to start this process. Nobody gets in touch with me. So I end up calling again that following week, right? And like, I can't just go everything in detail. You guys could just go read it yourself. I end up calling again that following week on like a Tuesday again. Because for some reason, I can't get in touch with them on Monday. And I can't get in touch with them before 11 a.m. So that following week, I finally get in touch with this woman, Patricia. And I'm like, at this point, like, yo, it took a whole week just for you guys to process my payment. And then I don't hear from nobody the whole following week. I just paid that much money. I want a refund at this point. Like, yo, we could just refund this credit part and we just continue with the whole business consultant part. So, you know, this lady Patricia, she gets on the phone and I'm like, yeah, I want a refund. She's like, why do you want a refund? I'm like, well, because I paid my money and it's been 2 weeks. Like, there's nothing has been done. 2 business weeks. She's like, oh, it doesn't work like that. You gotta wait 30 days before something shows up on your credit. I'm like, hold on, miss. Like, she's just going off. And I'm like, miss, how can something show up on my credit report if you guys don't even have my personal information? And then she's like, what? What? Who? What? So now she's sounding all confused. She's like, who did you talk to? And I'm like, well, the girl with the Caribbean accent, she took my information, but she clearly told me 2 times she doesn't even know how these things work. And she's like, oh, let me call you back, because I'm requesting my refund. So she calls me back. Oh, yeah, I just got off the phone with Dean, and yeah, sorry. What happened was the girl with the Caribbean accent, she's new, and what she was supposed to do when she processed your payment, she was supposed to get all your information, your forms of ID, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, I don't really care. Like, that's not my problem. You see what I'm saying? Like, she was supposed to do this, that, and the third. I don't care. Like, that's no longer my problem. That's you guys' problem. Give me my refund. Because it seems like it's evident at this point you guys are unorganized, don't really know what's going on, don't know what you're doing. And I don't even want to. If you guys can't even handle certain simple things like that, no, there's no way I'm doing business with you when it comes to this. Like, no, forget it. Give me my refund, right? But, you know, I was nice to her. I was like, she giving me all these excuses. I'm like, listen, that's cool and all, but that really ain't got nothing to do with me. I just want my refund back. I'm good. Like, I don't even want to do it no more. So we spoke, and I'm like, listen, I done wasted 2 weeks. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have my schedule, and I have goals dated on my schedule from when I want to meet my goals, right? So you could just cost me 2 business weeks from when I'm trying to meet my goals. Your business practices is looking funny, and I'm good. Like, I don't even want to deal with y'all no more. Like, I just want to move on. So she's like, okay, yeah, I definitely understand. I will process your refund payment today. I'm like, all right, thank you. A whole week goes by. I call again that following Tuesday. I'm like, I haven't got my refund, right? So I call her. I'm on the phone with her. And then she's like, I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm calling back because, you know, you're supposed to process my refund. She said, oh, refund? Who are you again? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, give her a whole, yeah, we spoke last week. And she's like, oh, okay. Yeah, hold on. Hold on 1 second. So she puts me on hold or something like that. She gets back, oh yeah, the reason why I didn't process your refund was because it was denied by Dean. I'm like, what do you mean it was denied by Dean? Yeah, your refund was denied by Dean. And I'm like, why? And she was like, well, according to him, he said that you can still, you know, go with the process. And I'm like, I don't want to go with the process. Like, I don't think you guys understand. Like, y'all wasted my time. 2 weeks. I'm like, I'm good. Like, I don't want to go with it. Right? What's so hard to understand? Like, I just want a refund. Like, I'm good on that. You know what I mean? And I'm like, why couldn't he call me or you call me and tell me that day? Like, why is it a whole week I have to call for him to tell me or you to tell me that my refund has been denied? Like, why you guys not even communicating that with me after you just told me you was gonna process my refund? Now you're telling me that you're denying my refund. Like, does that make any sense? Oh, okay. Let me call you back. Call him back 2 days later. Oh, let me call. And from then on, it's just been, I'll call you back and I'll call you back and and it's just been a whole runaround. So another thing I saw was that on his website that, you know, he doesn't have a business email. So I called one day. I'm like, let me speak to Dean. He's out. As always, he's out. He flew out of town. He flew somewhere. He's this. He's that. This guy is so busy, right? So she's like, I'm like, what's his email address? Oh, I don't have his email address. I'm like, don't you work for him? Yeah. And you don't have an email? I'm like, don't you work for him? Yeah. And you don't have an email? No, I don't have an email for him. And she's saying it like with so much confidence. And I'm just like, I'm confused here. You know what I'm saying? Because here's somebody who's online giving people business credit advice, telling people you need to have a business email. He doesn't even have a business email on his website. No business email where you can get in contact with him. So all this stuff is starting to sound and smell funny. right? So then I'm like, all right, cool. You ain't got no business email. Months passed by. I mean, I was requesting my refund from, let me see, since about August. Sometime around in August, between August 10th to the 12th, I started to request my refund. And then at this point, I'm like, yo, you know what? I want my full refund now. Like, I don't even want like a whole consultation. Because every time after that, I just kept calling. And it was just like, I'll call you back. And nobody would never call me back. Nobody would ever get in contact with me. So what I did, I went to the Business Better Bureau to put in a complaint. Now, I put in a complaint in the Better Business Bureau back in about September. Let me try to see when I put this complaint in. Right. So I put in the complaint back in about September. Actually, I put in the complaint back in August the 22nd. So after they just kept giving me the runaround, I've been asking for refunds, and I was never contacted. And this is how many times the Better Business Bureau contacted him, whoever. They had to contact them, and if you see, it just keeps saying no response until November 11th. Dean Cole response. This is what he says in his response. He says, I, Dean Cole, founder and CEO of Dean Cole Financial, is responsible for this complaint personally. So now he's taking responsibility. I apologize that Mr. Prophet had such a bad experience with our company. Unfortunately, he became a client during the very tragic time in the pandemic because of COVID-19. So now he's blaming this bad customer service, rejecting refund, not being able to get in contact with anybody, not being able to email anybody, taking months to get in contact, with the BBB. And now he's blaming it on COVID. He says, since the situation has escalated, the First Lady in question with the Caribbean accent has been terminated from our company. Now, mind you, these people don't even work directly for him. These people are what you call virtual assistants. They're like third-party company people. That's why the First Lady never knew what the heck was going on, because she don't really work directly for him. I highly doubt she directly works for him. I highly doubt that he got her on payroll. But anyhow, we as a company have no problem issuing Mr. Prophet a refund for his requested trade line, as well as his unmet section for a 5-hour strategy session. I am disturbed that he would call me personally a crook. When we have spent so much time together, we didn't spend that much time together on the phone. We spent like 45 minutes just on a business consultation. When we had spent so much time together working on his business goals, and he seemed extremely motivated, guided, and encouraged in our consultations. I do understand that this mishaps of communication can be frustrating, and that is why I might personally change and implemented our training. I will email Mr. Prophet confirmation of his refund. I ask that he respond and explains that he has received it, blah, 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 blah. This was 11/13. I still haven't got no email. I still haven't got no refund. So all this is what you call what they call it now? Cap, right? All this is cap. Like, you could miss me with it. So I had to go to the legal. I had to go through the legal route, right? I had to go through the legal route to see if I could get my money. Which again, I don't feel like I should have to. I don't feel like I definitely didn't want to. But I don't know. See how it is. And apparently I can't even do that because from a statement from one of the sheriffs that he is not a resident. He is not in the jurisdiction of America, but he's in the jurisdiction of the Dominican Republic. So this is where I'm at right now. I will be, getting in touch with some lawyers just to try to get some clarification, just so I can have a better understanding, so I know how to maneuver. But in life, we get lessons in life. We don't lose, we learn. And this was a learning lesson of, again, someone pump faking for social media, pump faking for the world, claiming they live a lifestyle that they really may not live. I don't know how they got the money to really live. Claiming that they rich, telling people on social media that they rich, telling people that they building $1 million restaurants and just have $1 million deal, but yet you're ducking for $11.50. You're ducking for $19.50. You're telling lies. You're lying to the people. So we live in a world now full of poses on social media, and it's just disgusting. There's so much poses out there. And in these times, we just gotta expose these people for what they really are and what they really doing out there. Just expose them. You know what I mean? Because it shouldn't make any sense that as a brother, and you claim to be a brother of the faith, but you don't know that one of the commandments tells you that I should not steal, right? You claiming to be, support a brother, support black business, and this, that, and the third. And when you support black business, this is sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, sometimes this is the kind of sloppy work that you get. And I'm not saying that all the time, but sometimes this is what you get. And that could be any business, but I expected more from someone who's claimed to be some type of, I want to help my people out type person. I expected more. I expected more integrity. I expected more, what you would call it, kahunas, where you have an issue with a client, you can get on the phone and handle that issue with a client before it escalated to this point. I expected more. I reached out to him on social media, no response. And all that shows me is that, you exactly who I said you are. You are a crook. You still have not given me my refund. You took my hard-earned money. I could have invested it in other things, right? A lot of other opportunities that came up, I could have used that money for. I could have used that money into black businesses with integrity that could have helped me get something done and helped me get somewhere. But instead, I give you my hard-earned money to give me a service, and you rendered me of that. So you did not give me a service, and you holding on to the money that you owe me, right? And you pumping for social media, telling people I just closed on a $1 million deal for a restaurant. All in time, I'm hitting you up for my refund. That's what you call pump faking. Telling people I'm rich and people is hating on me, and you owe me money for a refund. All these people look very familiar on social media. It seems that people are hating on them. People don't like them. They successful. God has blessed them. All their stories line up the same exact way. Like, if you pay attention to these dudes, you see they all have the same personality. These women, these dudes on here on social media, they all have the same personality. They all move the same way. They make their money off of marketing, not off service. They market you a brand that they claim. And the nerve of him to even try to use Bible scriptures when he's doing his video. Listen, there's a story about a profitable servant and an unprofitable servant, right? There's a man who gave a servant some money, and he gave two servants money. One multiplied his money, one did nothing with his money, and he was called an unprofitable servant, and he was kicked into the outer darkness, right? So I went to Dean Cole Financial, and I got unprofitable service, right? I took a L. I took a loss, right? And on top of that, I don't even have any receipts. I was asking, can I have my receipts for the things that I have purchased? I haven't even gotten any receipts for the things I purchased, You know what I'm saying? So I know I ain't the only one going through this. It gotta be some other people. I'm probably the only one that's willing to come on here and speak up. But if you pay for a service and you can't get receipts back, that's funny within itself. You know what I mean? I had to go through bank statements to show proof that, hey, like, yo, this guy, I paid this, that, and third amount of funds, you know what I mean, to this company. You know what I'm saying? So all I could say, like, the verdict is in, is pump fakers. Is they all out here, right? And they like to hide in the blanket of social media, right? They like to hide in the crowd of the followers, you know, so people could come on here and fight for them and try to stand up for them. Listen, I don't indulge in slander and he say, she say. I indulge in facts and proof. And the facts is in. And if you think it's slander, you think it's this, take it up in DeKalb County Court. See me in DeKalb County Court. Take it up. So everything could get brought out into the light. But I know they don't want to do that. But I'm just doing this video so you guys could be aware and do your due diligence when you making business deals with companies out here. Because especially our people, because there was a dude back last year in Atlanta that was getting exposed like crazy, right? It's just disgusting out here. It's just how the world is maneuvering nowadays. But y'all be blessed, y'all. Peace.